Well, it looks like we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like I've actually got some audio going here. 12:31 p.m. on the central clock, May the 16th, 2022. Getting ready for our big show tonight on Zoom, which I will give you all the um, address to that, which Marianne didn't put here, which I really needed captions. I do have captions here. Ah, there it is. So I'll go ahead and give you all, yeah, there we go. Monday through Friday, we have our show on Zoom. We go live at 7 p.m. Central Time, our time here in Texas. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, this is a knockout show, man. I'm not saying that because I'm a senior host or producer. I'm just saying it is. It's a knockout show. It even amazes me sometimes. It's an amazing show. You know, it's a no bullshit show. It's rubber meets the road of alternative media, and you know, our research team puts in 300 hours a week combined, looking at these things that are going on around the world that are important to all of us at this moment in time, like the Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, Council of 300, United Nations, World Monetary Fund, the World Bank, Federal Reserve, the um, the World Economic Forum over there with Klaus Schwab, the progress with the anti-vaxxers and how that's going, to describe and discuss and debate this situation with the vaccination, the bioweapon, if you will. We go down the rabbit hole, very deep, very dark. We get to the bottom of the barrel, so to speak, on these stories, and we try to untangle and unravel, and we try to bring you the story where you can understand and grasp what's going on. We talk about the latest science and technology, which is mind blowing, incomprehensible at times. Some of it sounds like science fiction. What can I say? Life seems like science fiction here in the Matrix, here in this illusion that our brain magically creates for us with the waveform collapse. Observed, observer, observer, observed, cause, effect, mind, brain, collective consciousness, mass, collective hive mind, mind control, GMOs, chemtrails, selenium, barium, aluminum, 5G, 6G, 7G, 8G, 9G, 10G, and beyond, robotics, transhumanism, genocide, and all of these other things that are going on that are so insane right now in our public education system here in the United States. This seemingly economic collapse, which should have already happened if the Fed wasn't printing up trillions of dollars in play money and distributing it out to the central banks. This credit scoring system that is on the way from China, that will be implemented here in the United States very soon. The basic tenets of this social credit scoring system is already here and has been here for a while. The full impact, I think, we'll start seeing that in 2023. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty at all. As many of you know, our freedom of speech is being stripped away from us. We've been raped, literally raped, of our freedom of voice, freedom of speech, freedom to communicate freely about the different things that are going on in the world and have an open discussion, an intelligent intercourse, an intelligent analysis with different opinions and different perspectives coming from many different places to come to some kind of consensus as to what we might be able to do to turn some of these things that we're not happy with around for our children, our grandchildren, for our loved ones. We are activists here at APRI. We are advocates here at APRI. We are forensic investigators here at APRI. We are reporters, journalists here at APRI. We are the press. We have the police, fire, and emergency medical disaster respite team here in Texas. Marion, our executive producer, my soulmate, 25 years, getting ready to be a deputy sheriff on the posse here, which we are going to help people with that position. We're going to be there to protect and serve this community, not to go out and tase and beat and strangle and kick people and arrest them for having a broken taillight, but to be to serve the public good and to protect the people and follow the Constitution and follow the oath of office of a police officer, a deputy sheriff, posse member. We have a lot of friends here on Facebook that we're helping to support, helping to get through their trials and tribulations, which is what this should be about, this whole endeavor. Otherwise, why am I here? Why do I exist? Why do I even come on air at all? I want to thank my senior co-producer, David Ray King, for being a part of this mission. David has done such a great job in learning broadcasting media, broadcast media, alternative media. David is working very hard to learn how to get the message out there from his brain to his mouth to his linguistic vocal pattern, rhythm, uh, vibration, frequency, to get the word out there in the correct way. You know, sometimes what's up here is not always what's coming out here, so we're teaching him to balance those two things out, where everything comes out in a very comprehensive, user-friendly way. A lot of people just talk, blah, 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 blah. They don't really communicate. They don't know how to communicate because the brain and the vocalization is not in sync. The lower brain may be overacting, the monkey brain, as we call it. Most people live in their monkey brain, their lower brain, their animal brain. They're not able to extend themselves into the higher consciousness, that higher essence of consciousness and awareness that's so possible to get into if one learns to practice in the proper ways and do the proper things that need to be done in order to find that extra awareness. If you guys want to email me about being a guest or you have some ideas for the show or the station, there's my email. You can email me just about anything that you want, and I'll definitely look at it and respond to it as soon as I possibly can. I get so many emails. You know, the world is changing very fast, as it always does. Our technology is doubling every 8 to 10 months, it seems, exponentially, I would say. Things are happening that are just amazing. I'm in shock and awe of this matrix, of this simulation, of this existence. I'm in shock and awe of all of these things that have been manifested before me, both internal and external environment. I'm very much into my higher mind, working over many years to ascend from that monkey brain to that ascended consciousness and awareness, that level of understanding. We consider ourselves watchers here and observers here at the station rather than people coming up with conclusions. We try not to judge. We try not to point fingers at people. We try not to make fun of people. We try not to embarrass people. We try to give people a chance to get their message across if they come on. But as I said the other night, we're not going to let just completely stupid, violent, insane, crazy, twisted people on air with us. We're also not going to bring people on that proselytize and are here to bring us to Jesus or something. We all have our own spiritual walk. We all have our own spiritual path that we're on. And if you want to get into the subject of religion, you're going to have to be very, very smart, very well researched, because we will take you back to times past and we will show you just how corrupt and how political that this situation is when the Bible was created, how it was created, how it was formulated. Someone's knocking. How it was formulated, how it was put together, why it was put together, the way it was put together. We'll talk about the Council of Nicaea, the Roman Catholic Church, talk about the Jesuit order, we'll talk about the Council of 300, we'll talk about the dark state, the deep state, the New World Order, and all of its agencies and entities and all of its parts and pieces. We will also talk about, I think I mentioned, mind control technology. This is something that really needs to be talked about a lot. Mind control technology. It has become so advanced that it just blows my mind what they're able to do now in controlling people's behavior and attitudes. And it's really amazing what I've learned from the Hughes Institute documents that were recently declassified. I have my hands on those from the Central Intelligence Agency declassified files. Take care, Mary. I love you. Be safe. May the force be with you all. Marion's leaving for her doctor's appointment. You all are really missing out if you don't drop by the show. I mean, really missing out. I mean, we have such fun. We have a blast on air. And we get into some things that, when speaking from a higher consciousness, the show is so much more informative, so much more intuitive and discerning, and it's so much more powerful and comprehensive, and it's so much fun just to be a part of a group like that, I think, that come together who really know their shit, basically, you know, or they know a lot of shit, basically. People that have really gone down the rabbit hole, people that have really done the research. You know, we do, like I said, 300 hours combined research a week here. We've done that for 16 years, 20 years. We've done 3,800 shows or so, 3,500, 3,800, close to 4,000 shows, maybe over 4,000 shows now, talk shows. We've interviewed so many interesting people, and we've run so many missions. You know, I'm a former emergency medical technician, paramedic graduate out there at Baylor University and R.H. Dedman and Terrell Community Hospital out there by Trinity Valley College. Graduated top of my class. Worked a lot of cardiac arrest, worked a lot of car crashes, worked a lot of stabbings, shootings, I worked a lot of suicides, worked a lot around homicide, way too long, working in forensic science. We had the contract in Dallas County for the dead body pickup for the forensic team. Had a nervous breakdown back in 1988, being around too much homicide, too much death, too much pain, too much suffering, too many children dying on my watch, too many SIDS deaths, too many senior citizen deaths, too many horrible things happening around me. Having gang members' brains blown out on my cot in my ambulance and brain matter and skull all over me, blood, guts, traumatized. You know, I was raped at 14 years old by my stepbrother, locked in a casket for several hours, raped with a loaded gun at my own funeral home over the weekend, a rainy, stormy, nasty weekend. I was all alone there at the funeral home. I had 4 or 5 bodies in the embalming room, and my brother shows up, who hates my guts. Top cop, lieutenant, Dallas Police Department. Hated my guts because I wasn't his real brother, and he hated my mother. For some reason, he hated everyone, even his own wife. He aborted her baby, kicked her in the stomach, and aborted her baby. He was such a mean person. Dallas police were terrified of him, literally terrified. They just would shake in their boots when he would walk by. He would just rip your head off. He was one of Henry Wade's top people, the district attorney of Dallas County. One of Bill Decker's top-notch people. My brother was also the lead investigator on the JFK assassination. I come from a long line of cops, FBI, Secret Service, special agents. I come from a long line of law enforcement. I guess that's why I became an undercover operative for the state of Texas, working with the World News and the governor's office when Governor Ann Richards was alive. I was a team leader investigating Medicare, Medicaid fraud, investigating senior citizen abuse and neglect when they were raping senior citizens, over-drugging senior citizens, beating senior citizens, torturing senior citizens, stealing from senior citizens, tying them up and allowing them to die in their beds. I was also an investigator at the time when AIDS was so big, HIV, and they were letting patients die in their room in their vomitus. And I've seen so many AIDS patients lying in a dark room crying, dying. I've sat with so many and held their hand as they died. The nurses wouldn't touch them. The doctors didn't want to touch them. Nobody wanted to touch them. They just left them there to shit all over themselves and piss all over themselves and lay in that for hours and hours. And I would go in and do it myself. I would go in and clean them up with my team. We acted as volunteers. We were undercover. We acted as a sweet, loving little volunteer team. That was our cover that went in and did birthday parties and things and special activities for the seniors. And the whole time we were gathering information to put these son of a bitches in jail, which we did. That was a little over a year investigation. I was undercover 4 years and ran several independent, very dangerous missions after that. I'm thankful, very thankful, that we have this opportunity, this technology to reach out to all of you. And I want you to know that we are here for you. I know that this will go in one ear and out the other for most of you. But we are here for you. We are working hard to try and bring some kind of balance, some kind of comprehension to this insanity that's going on right now all around us, especially with this reset coming and this social credit scoring system coming and fiat currency going away, cryptocurrency coming in. I want to make a recommendation to all of you right now to go out and buy some silver. Go out and buy some hard silver right now if you can afford it. Please go buy some silver, tuck it away, hide it, keep it. You're going to need it. You know, the DoD put out a emergency message a while back that we have a 50% chance, 50-50 chance of being attacked by North Korea or Russia or some other rogue country with a total grid down, cyber attack, grid down situation that could last 6 months to a year. 50-50 chance. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people will die if that happens because they're not prepared. And if that's not bad enough, well, we have to worry about electromagnetic pulse or solar flare from the sun having a direct hit here in the United States and putting us in a grid down situation, dark, very dark, dangerous situation. And if that's not bad enough, we have the volcanoes like Yellowstone that could wipe out the United States in a matter of weeks. We have the possibilities of tsunamis on all of our coast, tectonic plate movement creating massive earthquakes. We have this insane weather from all of the jacking with the weather that they're doing with the geoengineering and weather modification with DARPA and HARP and all of these other organizations that are working, including the United States Air Force, jacking with our weather, jacking with our troposphere and ionosphere and megasphere. Just really doing Frankensteinian type things with the weather. We've got these massive tornadoes that are breaking out in places that you would never expect, just destroying property, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of property. We've got these fires breaking out all over the world that are destroying millions of acres of property, overloading our fire departments and our emergency services personnel, taking them beyond their capacity to be able to function as they should. And so a lot of things happening, ladies and gentlemen. Many of you call it the end times. I don't think so. Many of you call it the apocalypse. I don't think so. Many of you see this in a religious kind of way. I don't. I see this as being a part of the simulation, part of the matrix. I see this as science at its worst in many cases. I see this as devolution rather than evolution. We're devolving very fast. We're killing all of nature. We have thousands of species that are going extinct every day. We have this food shortage, food crisis here in America and around the world. We have 2.4, 2.5, 2.6 billion people starving to death around the world right now. We're killing all the fish in the ocean, ladies and gentlemen. I know that sounds insane, but we are killing our fish in the ocean. We are just destroying our oceans around the world. We're destroying our land. We're destroying our air that we breathe. Toxic, poison. We're doing so many terrible, terrible things. And sometimes I wonder what the churches are doing. You know, I'm not a religious man. I don't really believe in religion. Jesus, by the way, didn't either. Jesus hated religion if you read your Bible. Jesus hated these puffed up scribes and Pharisees. And Jesus was, I think, a very enlightened prophet, very enlightened person who had ascended into that higher consciousness. And I think that we can get much good instruction out of the Bible, even though it has been jacked with and realigned and reshaped and plagiarized and has been corrupted in such a terrible, terrible, terrible way. So many books are missing from the Bible, so many words, so many wonderful things need to be told to the public, to the masses, about the extraterrestrial presence that's here for thousands of years with humans, interacting with humans. People get the fallen angels confused with the Nephilim, and the Nephilim confused with the deities, and the deities confused with the demons. And, this is something else we do on the show is we try to bring these things together in a cohesive, coherent way. where people can get a better grasp and go do the research for themselves and find out some of these things that are going on. Many people are just brainwashed completely into believing one thing, one way only, and this is a problem. And the problem here in the United States also is lack of courage. People have a lack of courage. They're living under fear and duress. They're following the orders of the aristocracy, the technocracy, the cabal. People just bow down to the state, bow down to the county, bow down to the city, bow down to these fictional leaders, these corrupt leaders that have committed so many crimes against humanity. It's very confusing out there. It's very hard to navigate this matrix. And as I said before, we try to help with that. Y'all drop by the show. Here it is again. I'll put it up. 7 o'clock p.m. Central tonight. We'll be putting up the invite on all of our pages here in a few hours. We have a new co-host coming on tonight, Amanda Hunt, who's going to be with us tonight talking about families, children, relationships, family courts. We're going to talk a little bit about family court system, corrupt family court system, corrupt judges, police officers, clerks, constables, district attorneys, prosecutors. We're going to talk about this system. Follow the money. It's all about the money. We also talk about big pharma a lot and the billions and billions and billions that they're making out of this corrupt system, and much, much, much more. Ladies and gentlemen, much, much, much more. I haven't even touched the surface of what we go into, what we talk about. I love all of you very much in a digital kind of way, I always say. And we are here for you if you need us. And I know that many of you won't show up because you just have some kind of disdain for people that are highly educated and highly informed like our group is. Maybe it's jealousy. Most of the time it's jealousy. Most of the time you feel inadequate when coming on our show. You will feel inadequate if you start mouthing off a bunch of bullshit. We're going to tear you apart really quick. We're going to take you apart and put you back together really quick. If you come on our show rambling and raving and moaning and bitching and throwing a lot of big words at us and a lot of terminology trying to impress our audience, we're going to just get rid of you really quick. So yeah, again, I am the senior host for Alternative Public Radio International. David Ray King, my senior co-host, and tonight's our special guest co-host, Amanda Hunt. So with that being said, you all take care and keep your head up and your eyes wide open. Keep your mind open. Listen, learn, study, research, ponder, think. Think about thinking. Be conscious of consciousness. Seek to come out of that monkey mind and get into that ascended consciousness. That's the key. We're all about frequency, vibration, and energy. You know, Telsa said this. Telsa had something going. Einstein, Niels Bohr, vibrational frequencies, attenuation, energy, our brains, very complex cerebral cortex up here, medulla oblongata, foramen, pineal gland, temporal lobes, occipital lobes, frontal lobes, electrochemical processing going on with the billions of neurons and synaptic operations and equations taking place every nanosecond. Your electrical energy field reaching around the world into the universe every nanosecond. Most people have no idea that that's even going on. Well, we'll talk more about that on the show. You all take care. And like I said, I'll put up the promo for the show on all of our pages this afternoon. May the force be with you all. And remember, whatever you vividly imagine ardently desire, and enthusiastically act upon will come to pass.